This is a brief video on how to sign up for Duo two-factor authentication. You'll only need to sign up once, and the place you're going to sign up is your accounts page. That link is www.umn.edu/myaccount. You'll want to log in here, and once you log in, you should have an option to set up Duo two-factor authentication. If you don't see that option, you should call the helpline and request access. My account already has an MKey associated with it. MKey is an older version of two-factor authentication that we've used here at the university. I'm going to go ahead and do my MKey authentication. And I'm going to go ahead and set up Duo. There's a little bit of information about how Duo works here. I'm going to start my setup. I'm going to go ahead and set up Duo with my mobile phone. I'd like to point out you don't have to have a mobile phone like an iPhone or an Android in order to use Duo. If you have a tablet like an iPad or a Nexus, it'll work just as well. But you can also use Duo just with your office phone, home phone, or any other regular phone. That would be by choosing the landline option. You can also do multiple options. You can only set up one the first time around, but you can set up others later. So I'm going to set up my mobile phone this time, but then I'm going to come back and set up my landline later. This is where you're going to type in your phone number. Now I want to point out you don't want to type in the number that I'm typing in. When you type in your phone number, it's going to confirm that it actually is a real phone number, and then you do have to double check, and I highly recommend that you double check that this is the correct phone number. Go ahead and check that off, and then hit continue. Now you're going to choose the operating system you're using. I'm using an iPhone, and as you can see, Duo works with many different kinds of phones. And then at this point, you're going to want to actually install the Duo application on your phone. The screen looks different depending on which type of device you're using. So I'm just going to switch to show you my iPhone screen. And as you can see on my iPhone, when you install Duo Mobile on your device and go ahead and open up the app, you should be prompted to accept push notifications at some point. And you do want to go ahead and say OK to this. And then accept the licensing terms. And then you'll see I've got an add an account option, and I'll go ahead and tap that. So back in my setup screen, I need to say yes, I have installed on my device, and then I'll get this QR code that I need to scan. This is kind of like a barcode. On my device, I'll go ahead and say scan barcode. Your phone camera should automatically turn on, and just aim that camera at the QR code. And you can see how quickly it sets us up on my phone. And now I have this device associated with the University of Minnesota's Duo setup. And that's as easy as the installation is. And that's pretty much it. My device is successfully enrolled. So now I want to take a look at the Duo Authentication Settings. So you can see that here's all the information for the device that I just added. If I want to add a new device, I can just click on Add a Device. And I'm going to go ahead and add a landline this time. So again, I'm putting in my phone number and an extension if you have one. And that's all there is to enrolling my landline. Now, one thing I want to point out, with my landline, I don't have any sort of application to install, and it does work differently. So the thing I'll want to note in my authentication settings page is what is my code to use for phone callback. I'll actually enter that code when I'm using Duo authentication on a login page at the University of Minnesota. So my code for my landline is phone2. That's all it is to set up a couple different ways of using Duo at the university.